Hello students, good morning. How are you? I hope you all are well. Yesterday we talked about and wrote together the news story and interpreting charts, graphs and diagrams. Did you practice writing news story? Did you practice writing story? Did you practice writing interpretation of chart and graph? I hope you did. Please practice writing. In today's lesson, we'll discuss in the third writing task of SE English. The third writing task is free writing 1. Free writing means you will given the question without clues. Only the question will be there and you will have to write your views, the description or something else that is given in the question. Free writing 1 in SEE carries 6 marks. The writing tasks that can be asked in this section are dialogue with the situation given, paragraph on personal experiences, short stories. In this case, you will be given only the beginning or the ending or the title or the moral for short stories. The range of number of words in this task is 100 to 120 words. And in this writing task also, you will be assessed in terms of content or subject matter, coherence, and correctness of language. If you look at the SEE questions of 2074 and 75, you will find that 2 types are asked in this section. Dialogue and a paragraph on personal experience. We'll practice writing both types of tasks. Now, let's start with the task. It's writing a dialogue. First, let's talk about some tips in writing a good dialogue. How can we write a good dialogue? A dialogue means a conversation between 2 or more people. But in your examination, you will be asked to write a dialogue with 2 characters. For writing a good dialogue, there are some things to be taken into consideration. The first one is read the given question carefully and find out the topic and the speakers. Are you going to write the dialogue between friends talking about celebrating the new year? Are you going to write the dialogue between a librarian or a student? Are you going to write the dialogue between a librarian and a student? Are you going to write a dialogue between a hotel receptionist and a customer? Read the questions carefully. Then you will be able to find out on what content you are going to write the dialogue between friends or between other types of people. Read the question carefully and understand the content and the speakers. This is the first tip. The second one is keep your dialogue brief. For this, you don't need to worry because you are asked to write in 6 exchanges. Means you don't need to write more than 6 exchanges. Use the language appropriate to the relationship between the speakers. Means if there's a formal relationship like that of a librarian and a student, then the language is more of formal type. If you are writing a dialogue between 2 friends talking about their plan after SEE, then that will be more informal type of language. And next one is begin the dialogue with greetings and end the dialogue with leave taking. For greetings, you can use hello, hi, good morning. But if you are writing a formal dialogue, then it's better to start with good morning or good afternoon. If you are writing a dialogue between the people who usually have informal relationship, then you can just start your dialogue with hi, hello, etc. And the same case is applied with leave taking. You can use the phrases like bye, thank you, see you then, etc. And the next tip is give the dialogue good flow. Means a dialogue is not a series of question answer. You know that because you have practiced writing these dialogues in your class as well. So do not make your dialogue question answer exchange. Try to give the sounding of the dialogue natural. In that way, you can just avoid dialogue as the exchange of question answer. Now, let's look at some questions. Look at SEE 2075 RE101 AP. Can you open your book? Look at question number 7. Let's read the question first. What is the question? A student is trying to get new library membership. Compose a dialogue between the student and a librarian in at least 6 exchanges. What is the topic? The topic of your dialogue is going to be getting library membership. And who are the people? A student and a librarian. The question says these things. Now let's start writing. Who speaks first? The librarian or the student? If you visit a library, it's the thing that you start speaking first. So let's write it together. Be prepared with your pen and paper. Write the word student. And then what does the student say? Let's suppose that the librarian is a female one. So you greet. How do you greet? You can write anything, either good morning or good afternoon, but I will write good morning. Good morning, madam. Okay. Then what does the librarian say? Write librarian and then write the sentence. Good morning. The next is, what can I do for you? In Nepali, it means तपाईको के काम छ? Now write another student, and then you are going to write the dialogue on the topic getting new library membership. So you should set the context. What does the student say? I want to be a member of the library. What should I do for that? So the student is saying, I want to be a member of the library. What should I do for that? Then what does the librarian say? Would you like to apply for it right now? That's the question. And what does the student say? Simply, yes. And then what does the librarian say? Write librarian first. And then write the sentence. This is an application form. Please fill in this. Now what does the student say? Write the word student there. Put the colon. Okay. What documents do I need? Then the librarian says, write the word librarian and then put the colon there. You need a copy of your ID and 2 passport size photographs. Then what does the student say? I have them, means I have my ID and 2 passport size photo. Here is the application form. Here is the application form. And then what does the librarian say? Write the word librarian. Thank you. Now go to the account section and pay Rs 500. It's for a year. Then what does the student say? Okay, but when will I get the card? Then the librarian says, write the word librarian and then tomorrow. After 10:30. And what does the student say? Thank you. I will come at 11. So this is the dialogue that we have composed between a librarian and a student, and the student is talking about getting a new library membership. How many exchanges have you written? 6. Yes, it's enough. Do you find writing a dialogue difficult? I don't think it's difficult. The only thing is you need to imagine. Means you need to imagine the conversation between the participants. Now, let's go to another set. It's SEE 2075 RE101 BP. Can you open your book? Okay. Look at question number 7. Let's read the question. What is the question? Compose a dialogue between two friends talking about the movie they have recently watched in at least 6 exchanges. Who are the people talking? They are friends. What are they talking about? They are talking about the movie they have recently watched. Now, let's write it together. Suppose that the name of the friends talking are Ramesh and Dinesh. Anyone can start the dialogue, but here let's start with Ramesh. Since they are talking about the movie they have recently watched, you have said the context. You can start in any way you like, but I am going to write this way. Write in your copy, how was the movie that we watched yesterday? It's for setting the context. And what does Dinesh say? Write the name Dinesh and then write YM. Okay. In real life, when we speak, we sometimes say, well, let me think. So is given there because it takes in real life. So you have to make your dialogue sound like real life. Write that, put 3 dots and then write the movie was superb. And Dinesh asked another question. What about you? What do you think was the movie about? What about you? Okay. Then what does Ramesh say? Yes, it's really nice. I particularly like the action of the film. Or movie, whatever you write. Then what does Dinesh say? The fight was okay. The fight means the action. Because Ramesh earlier was talking about the action. The fight was okay, but I like the comedy scenes more. Now what does Ramesh say? But fight was really good. I like the scene where the hero fights with his own friend. Because earlier he was talking that the action was good, so he's justifying why the action was good and why and what the particular thing that he liked about the fight or the action. Now what does Dinesh say? Yes, that was really nice. What about the songs? Now he started talking about the songs. What about the songs? Then what does Ramesh say? Yes, they were nice, but I like the song based on folk pattern. Now what does Dinesh say? Overall, the songs are nice. Then what does Ramesh say? Well, there is a new movie starting tomorrow. What's your plan? He's asking the question. Then Dinesh says, well, let's watch it on Saturday. What time is the show? Then Ramesh says, it's at 6 p.m. Then what does Dinesh say? Okay, then I will call you when I leave my home. And he takes leave and says bye. And Ramesh says bye. Good. This is another dialogue. This dialogue is also in 6 exchanges. The first dialogue was a bit more formal because you were writing a dialogue between a librarian and a student. And here in the dialogue, you are writing the dialogue between friends. Means it's a little bit informal type. Okay, we have finished writing this dialogue too. Now, let's go to another set. It's SEE 2075 RE101 CP. Look at question number 7. Let's read the question. Write a dialogue in about 6 exchanges between two friends who are talking about celebrating the new year. Who are the people talking? They are the friends. What are they talking about? They are talking about celebrating the new year. They are planning for the celebration of New Year. In this dialogue, let's take female friends. Their names are Rita and Nita. We start whoever. Means you can start with Rita or you can start with Nita. So let's start with Rita. What does she say? Hi Nita. Because they are friends and we can just start the dialogue with the greeting word hi. How do you do? Good. And what does Nita say? Fine. And you? What does Rita say then? She says, I'm fine too. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Then what does Nita say? Tomorrow is the new year. Because your question says you are going to write a dialogue between friends who are talking about celebrating the new year. Means you should set the context. Tomorrow is the new year and I am planning for a party. What are you planning for? She asked the question to Rita. And then Rita says, I am going to the market to buy some gifts to my friends. And what does Nita say? She says, that's a good thing. Now what does Rita say? Can you suggest me some gifts? She asked the questions. Now Nita says, I think, means she is suggesting, cards are the best to gift others on the new year. Then what does Rita say? Yes, I will buy the cards then. And what does Nita say? And what does Nita say? Can you come to my party tomorrow? It is at my home at 5:30. And what does Rita say? Yes, I'd love to, but you should drop me home. What does Nita say? She says, okay, I will do that means I will drop you home. But come to my home at 5. And what does Rita say? Okay, I will be there on time. Yes, that's the dialogue. It's not necessary that you have to end the dialogue with bye, thank you every time. Here in the dialogue, we have just finished, okay, I'll be there on time. So that's the end of the dialogue. Sometimes you can end the dialogue this way too. And the dialogues we have written between friends, they are more informal type. Have you noticed? Yes. Now let's go to another set. It's SEE 2075 RE101 DP. Look at question number 7. Can you open your book? Let's read first. What is the question? Compose a dialogue between two friends who are talking about their preparation for SEE in at least 6 exchanges. Who are the people talking? They are friends. What are they talking about? They are talking about their preparation for SEE. And how many exchanges are you going to write? At least 6 exchanges. In this dialogue, let's take male friends, means the boys. Let's name them Nabeen and Sabeen. And let's start the dialogue. And please do write with me. We start speaking. Anyone, either Nabeen or Sabeen. So let's start with Nabeen. Write the name. And then what does Nabeen say? Hello, Sabeen. How are you? Okay. Then what does Sabeen say? I'm fine. And what about you? What does Nabeen say? It's okay. Means I'm fine. But I am worried about my exam. Now what does Sabeen say? It's very common. Means it's very common to worry about the exam. Because the SEE is coming soon. Okay. Now what does Nabeen say? He says, I am really afraid of it. I have no good preparation for English. Okay. Now what does Sabeen say? What do you think you have difficulty in? What does Nabeen say then? I am poor at writing. Can you help me to prepare for writing tasks? He is asking for help. Then what does Sabeen say? Okay, but We can learn to write by writing. Then what does Navin say? Yes, I know that. I have done the writing tasks from old questions. Okay. Then what does Sabin say? Okay. I will come to your home and help you. Then what does Navin say? I will help you with mathematics. Then Sabin. Okay, I will come to your home tomorrow morning at 8. You can end this dialogue up to this only. In this dialogue too, you don't need to write the phrases like goodbye, thank you. If you end the dialogue here, then it sounds natural. I will read out the dialogue. Look at your copy and check. Hello, Sabin. How are you? I'm fine. And what about you? It's okay. But I'm worried about my exam. It's very common because the SE is coming soon. I'm really afraid of it. I have no good preparation for English. What do you think you have difficulty in? I'm poor at writing. Can you help me to prepare for writing tasks? Okay, but we can learn to write by writing. Yes, I know that. I have done the writing tasks from old questions. Good. I will come to your home and help you. I will help you with mathematics. Okay, I will come to your home tomorrow morning at 8. This is the dialogue. Does the dialogue sound natural? Yes. You can write this type of dialogue in your examination. Now, let's go to another set. It's RE101EP. Can you open your book? Look at question number 7. Let's read the question. Imagine that you and your friends have just returned from a one-day educational tour organized by your school. Compose a dialogue between two of you about your experience of the tour in about 6 exchanges. In this question, who are the people talking? You and your friend. One speaker in the dialogue is me and another is my friend. What are you going to talk about? You are going to talk about your experience of the educational tour. Can you write this dialogue by yourself? Yes. Please try writing the dialogue. Now let's look at the next set. It's RE101FP. It also has a dialogue writing task. It says, write a dialogue in about 6 exchanges between two friends who are talking about their plan after SEE. Who are the people talking? Two friends. What are they talking about? Their plan after SEE. Can you try writing this dialogue? Try writing the dialogue too by yourself. Now let's look at the final set. It's RE101GP. The question number is 7. It says, write a dialogue in about 6 exchanges between two friends who are talking about the importance of learning English. Here in the question, two friends are talking about the importance of learning English. This is your task as well. Please read the dialogues that we have written together first. We have written together 3 dialogues, and after that, look at these 3 sets of questions. Practice writing these dialogues, show them to someone who can help you, listen to their feedback, and learn about writing a dialogue. And let's go to another task asked in this section. It's writing a paragraph on personal experiences. Look at the SE question of 2074 in the set RE101DC. You have a question there. Can you open your book and that page? The question says, what do you remember about your childhood days? Write your experience in about 120 words. You are going to remember about your childhood days and you are going to write your experience in about 120 words. In this task, talk about where you were born, then write about what happened, who did you play with, when did you start your school, how were the teachers and the head teachers, how were the classmates, how were you, and is there anything bad that happened to you at your childhood? Consider these things in writing for this question. If you write about these points, then you will be able to develop a paragraph that contains 120 words. Now, let's write it together. Write the topic. The topic is my childhood. Now start from the next line. One can hardly forget one's childhood memories. This is the beginning part of the paragraph. The question tells you to write about your childhood, so you start writing with the sentence like this. One can hardly forget one's childhood memories. Continue writing. I can still remember my childhood. I was born in a village in Dhading, where I spent my childhood. Next sentence. Many things happened in my childhood. The next sentence. I can remember some of them. I can remember the happy days with my parents. Are you writing with me? Please do write with me. I often played with my mother. The next sentence. I can still remember the first day at school. My heart, H-A-R-T, began to beat faster when I was taken to the head teacher. But later I found him smiling and caring. Talk about the teachers as well. The teachers were also very affectionate. Talk about your classmates. My classmates were very friendly. Write about your classmates. I was a smart but shy boy. Now write about what you used to do in the evening. Every evening I used to play with my friends in the field. I still remember those sweet evenings. And now write about some bad experience of your childhood as well. You can write like this: I have some bitter experiences as well. This is an example of your bitter experience. One day, while playing in the field, I fell down and got hurt in my leg. It caused me a lot of trouble. I could not go to school for a week. Now end your paragraph. When I remember my childhood, I feel both joy and sorrow. Okay, this is the paragraph. Have you finished? I'm going to read the paragraph. Please check in your copy. One can hardly forget one's childhood memories. I can still remember my childhood. I was born in a village in Dhading where I spent my childhood. Many things happened in my childhood. I can remember some of them. I can remember the happy days with my parents. I often played with my mother. I can still remember the first day at school. My heart began to beat faster when I was taken to the head teacher. But later I found him smiling and caring. The teachers were also affectionate. My classmates were very friendly. I was a smart but a shy boy. Every evening, I used to play with my friends in the field. I still remember those sweet evenings. I have some bitter experiences as well. One day, while playing in the field, I fell down and got hurt in my leg. It caused me a lot of trouble. I couldn't go to school for a week. When I remember my childhood, I feel both joy and sorrow. So this is the paragraph. If you count the words, there must be more than 120 words. So writing this sort of paragraph is enough. In the paragraph, we used very simple sentences. When you write simple sentences, you don't make many mistakes. So try writing simple sentences and practice writing a lot. This is all about free writing 1. Today, I taught you writing dialogues and writing about your personal experiences. Please practice writing the tasks from ACE 2074. This way, you will be able to develop your writing skill. This much for today. Thank you for listening to us. We'll talk about the next topic tomorrow. Thank you.